When the party was nice, the party was bumping. Yippee-yi-yo, and everybody having a ball. Yippee-yi-yo, I tell all the fellas start the name calling. Yippee-yi-yo, and the girls they all respond to.
All right, here we are, episode 5 of Barkin with the Dawgs. We have got our new head men's basketball coach, Patrick Jensen. He is from Missoula Loyola High School, and he played his college ball at Montana Northern, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And what years was that?
I got up there in 2010 and graduated 2015.
And then what did you do after that?
So after I graduated, I wanted to get into coaching. I wanted to get my master's degree, and I was lucky enough to get a graduate assistant job at Idaho State. And I worked there for 3 years as kind of the graduate assistant and then director of player development, kind of a secondary coaching role or whatnot.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my first shot in coaching and first opportunity, and I loved it. And then in 2018, I got the opportunity to come up here as an assistant coach, and I've been here for the last 5 years, and very fortunate and excited to still be here. So
yeah, absolutely. How exciting was it getting to go from, obviously, as most people know who watch this, our assistant coaches don't get paid a whole hell of a lot of money. So how awesome was it to finally get the opportunity to put your name in the hat and to be chosen to be the next head basketball coach?
It was a whirlwind of experience. It was a very humbling experience, but very exciting as well. It's something that basketball's always been a huge part of my life, and I've really enjoyed my time here in Dillon and the guys we have in the program and the university as a whole and then the community as a whole. And just very fortunate and excited to still be here and continue and now move over a seat. Move over an office as well.
Absolutely.
So.
And I think everyone's excited to see it, and it's time for a little bit of a culture change. So when it comes to culture change, what do you have in mind to change the culture?
I think that's kind of been one of the things. I've been very fortunate to work for a lot of different people. Working for Coach Larson for 5 years. Working for Coach Evans for 3 years, and then playing for Coach Hughes up in Northern for 5 years. I've seen a lot of different styles, a lot of things that I really like, some things that I kind of want to change, do a little bit different. And I think I've been in a very fortunate position to kind of see all that and draw kind of bits and pieces from each one and things that like and didn't like, and can form that and mold that into kind of my own culture, whatnot, to move this program forward and continue to build on.
Absolutely. I think it's always good to have multiple opinions as a coach and listen and be more of a player's coach. Just take the things that maybe you didn't like as a player and don't do them as a coach. Because if you didn't like them, chances are. I'm a big fan of the mantra, I'm not going to make my players do something that I never wanted to do. Yeah. Just because that's how I think it should be. And so for you guys started winter workouts here, about 4 weeks ago? 3 weeks now? Mm-hmm. About 3 weeks, you guys are lifting in the mornings a couple times or 3 times a week, whatever it is. Yeah. Probably getting some shots up. Mm-hmm. So what has kind of been your number one talking point to the guys so far? Is there acronyms or any specific words that you've used?
I think the biggest thing I've talked to our guys about lately is, there's a lot of kind of uncertainty right now with kind of where we're at. Our roster isn't complete, isn't full. We have a lot of recruits that we're bringing in, and there's kind of some transition. And the thing I've talked to them the most about is just kind of trust the work that you're doing. Trust the weights, trust getting the shots up, trust doing all those little things, because it eventually will pay off. Control what you can control right now, especially with all the kind of uncertainty, and just focus on what you're doing and trust the work that you're putting in, because it will pay off. And that's kind of been the big thing.
Absolutely.
So we can't, we don't know who's going to be on the roster next year or whatnot. We're still recruiting. Trying to fill some spots and get some guys in here, so I'll deal with that stuff and worry about that.
Those guys worry about playing basketball and getting better.
And focus.
I love that idea of that. Have you been looking at assistant coaches or anything yet?
Yeah, I'm very close on that, and
awesome.
Hopefully have some news on that
in a couple weeks or so. Mm-hmm. Awesome, that's good to hear. I think everyone's excited to hear who that's going to be and who's going to help lead us. I think that. For you being here for those 5 seasons, there wasn't the most success in the world, and everyone knows that. So, if there's one thing that you think separated you from any other candidates, or just what you think might give you the opportunity to be the winner and to bring it back to becoming the winning program that once was? What is that for you?
I think there's, the thing I've kind of told our guys is we have a lot of work to do. As far as where we want to get to and the sacrifices that you have to make to become a top team in the Frontier. We've seen, we had the year 2021-22 where we won 19 games and we're kind of one game away from
a Frontier Conference championship game.
Yeah, and what it takes to get to that point is a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifices. Putting the program first, and that's kind of one thing that we've talked about is at the end of the day we have to make decisions that are best for the program, because the program's always going to be here, and we have to make sure that we're moving the program forward at all times, and they have to be on board with that, and I have to give them the direction of where we're going to move the program forward.
I love that. I think that for football, everyone kind of says it's a day-by-day thing. How do you guys... Do you guys kind of adopt something like that, game by game? You get so many more games, you get multiple opportunities to play someone. So how are you going to approach that type of attitude, I guess, within the team? Is it one game at a time? Is it one practice at a time? Things like that?
Yeah, I think it's something, a big word for me in my kind of career has always been growth. I've always wanted to have a growth mentality where it's, getting out of my comfort zone, pushing myself, whether it's, coaching AU, tournaments, going and working satellite basketball camps, and that's something that we're going to bring to the program as well. Is we want our guys to grow in 3 different areas. We want to grow on the court, player development in the weight room, get stronger in that area. We want them to grow in the classroom. We're definitely going to push them in the classroom, and then we want them to grow as people, in the community as well, being involved, and that's something that you look at a season as far as basketball, it's a marathon. We start in August and we don't get done till hopefully March. So it's something that it's not a sprint. Like, it's a marathon. It's as cliche as it sounds, day by day, growth mentality, find a way to get better each and every day and push that bar forward.
Absolutely. I love that growth mentality. We read a book in a class my freshman year called Growth Mindset, and I think that that's a great way to do it, to turn things around. And you guys have that nice new locker room.
Yep.
We have a nice gym, things like that.
Yeah.
What other things have you kind of pitched to a lot of these recruits that you're having, since being new, you don't have a season under your belt yet? How's the recruiting process been for you so far?
Yeah, it's been very exciting, on a lot of really talented players right now, and talking to them. It's just been, kind of the biggest pitch is, the community of Dillon is one thing. There's a lot of support here. There's a lot of people that want to see Western athletics be successful. And that's something I think is very attractive to a lot of kids, and something that I want to be a part of, and I hope that they want to be a part of as well. Obviously, with the block schedule, that's a huge kind of selling point, and being able to focus on one class at a time. And then our gyms here, our facilities, we have our main gym, which is perfect for us. We have the upstairs practice gym. We have an incredible weight room that's had a lot of upgrades. I obviously mentioned the locker room. I think Montana is a place that's very attractive to a lot of kids, and it's a place where a lot of Montana kids want to be, and I think there's a lot of other states where kids want to come here as well too.
Absolutely. How is it more a lot of Montana kids right now, or have you been kind of hitting the road too?
Yeah, we want to start obviously with Montana. That's kind of you look at some of the best teams here at Western in the past. There's always key Montana players, and there's a lot of talented players in the state, and that's kind of where we want to start, and then kind of expand out from there. Idaho, Wyoming, we've had success with some Idaho players in the past, and Wyoming as well. So not going to say any state in specific, but we're kind of open to everything and crossing off boxes and checking out as many players as we can check out right now.
Awesome. I think the one thing that's really cool for people to see inside of what a coach actually thinks during recruiting. So, do you have any philosophies you'd be willing to share that you've had since you've started at Idaho State, or even since you've developed just now as a head coach?
Yeah, I think looking them not just as a basketball player, but as a person, and how they're going to fit in. That's kind of the one thing we pitch to, is we want guys that want to be here and want to be a part of this community, you want to be a part of this university, you want to be a part of this program, and not just looking at them as just basketball players, but as people, and make sure we have the right people on the bus to move forward.
Absolutely, I love that. I think that's really great. I think everyone around campus is, and in this town, as you know, you're always out at the golf course. I work out at the golf course. Everyone in the community loves Montana Western sports, and I think that you have a great opportunity to bring the winning ways back and create great young men, and I have no doubt that you're going to do that. I've got to see you every day in the hallway for the last 5 years. We always talk to each other and things like that, and I'm really excited for you. So, and this is our new Montana Western head men's basketball coach, Patrick Jensen. Thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.